Hello everyone, welcome to my class. Myself Janisha from Sciences of Composite PU College, Vijaypur. In the last episode, we have discussed about the privatization and globalization and also outsourcing. Yes, so the LPG system liberalization, privatization and globalization. So what are the changes have been takes place in our Indian economy? So all those things we learned in the last episodes. So today in this episode we are going to discuss about a new concept, that is WTO, World Trade Organization. Okay students, now let me discuss about in detail regarding the World Trade Organization. The WTO was founded in 1995 as a successor organization to the GATT, means General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. So the successor of WTO, it was GATT, a General Agreement on Trade and Tariff, and it was set up or it was founded, that is in 1948. So GATT was founded, that is in 1948, with the 23 countries as the global trade organization to administer all multilateral trade agreement by providing equal opportunities to all the countries in the international market for trading purpose. So here, as a successor of WTO, GATT, it was established in 1948 with member countries how much? That is 23. How many member countries? That is 23. Here, what is the aim of this establishment of GATT? That is to give equal opportunities to all countries, that is for international market, and also make multilateral trade agreement. So this is what the main purpose of what the establishment of GATT. WTO is expected to establish a rule-based trading regime in which nations cannot place arbitrary restrictions on trade. That means WTO was expected to establish. Why the WTO was set up? Because to maintain the rule-based trade regime, and in this way, so no one nations what make arbitrary restrictions on trade. And also the WTO agreements cover trade in goods and services, and it facilitates international trade, that is both the agreement of bilateral and multilateral, through removal of a tariff as well as non-tariff barriers and providing greater market access to all the member countries. So that we can say that WTO agreement which cover what? That is trade, goods and services. So trade in goods and services. Why? Because to facilitate the international trade by making the bilateral and multilateral agreement, okay, and through the removal of tariff as well as non-tariff barriers and providing greater market access. That means by removing the tariff and non-tariff barriers, tariff and non-tariff barriers. So in this way it will provide greater access market to the member countries. So this is what the intention of WTO. As an important member of WTO, this India has been in the forefront of framing fair global rules, regulations and safeguards and advocating the interest of the developing world. That means as a what important member of WTO, that is India. So it has been forefront of what framing the fair global rules, regulations. So India has made what? A fair, sound rules and regulations and it safeguards and advocating the what interest of developing world. India has kept its commitments towards liberalization of trade made in the WTO by removing quantitative restrictions on import and reducing tariff rates. That means here India has kept its commitment. What commitment? That is towards liberalization of trade. So India has made what commitment? That is liberalization of trade and made in the WTO, that is by removing the quantitative restrictions. Here what WTO which removes what quantitative restrictions on import and reducing tariff rates. This is what the contribution of WTO, because to provide the equal opportunities in the international market, and also India's role, that is to maintain the rule-based fair global policies as well as frame policies as well as rules and regulations to what? Protecting the developing world. Okay, now we'll discuss about Indian economy during reforms. We'll see the assessment here. The reform process has completed 3 decades since its introduction. Let us now look at performance of Indian economy during this period. Then what is the performance of Indian economy during the reform period? In economics, the growth of an economy is measured by GDP, gross domestic product. Then we'll see here what is the contribution of a GDP during the reforms period. The post 1991, India witnessed a rapid growth in GDP on a continual basis for 2 decades. See here. So our country's growth can be measured with the help of a GDP, gross domestic product. Yes. So that after introduction of reforms, that is in 1991, means post 1991, India has witnessed a rapid growth, that is in what? GDP. Means GDP has been what? Continuously or continual basis it will what? Increased. The growth of GDP increased from 5.6%, that is during 1980 to 91, to 8.2%, that is during 2007 to 12. So see here, the growth of GDP increased. GDP increased, how much increased? 5.6% up to 8.2%. In which year? 5.6%, that is in 1980. Yes. And 8.2%, that is in 2007 to 12. So this is one of the what major contribution we observed, that is in GDP. During the reform period, the growth of agriculture has declined. So as we know that GDP has increased, but what about the agriculture? During the reform period, the growth of agriculture has declined, while the industrial sector reported fluctuation and the growth of service sector has gone up. See here students, say agriculture growth declined, industrial sector that will be fluctuated, means changes, means sometime up, sometime down. Okay, and but what about the service sector? Service sector has been increased, that is during this what? Introduction of 1991 reform policy. This indicates that this growth is mainly driven by growth in the service sector, because agriculture sector declined, industrial sector has been fluctuated, but service sector has gone up, right? So that this indicates that growth in the service sector, it should be faster. During 2012 to 15, there has been a setback in the growth rates of different sectors witnessed post 1991. Along with this, what 2012 to 15, So here in this period we observe that growth rates of other sectors. So other sectors also developed. While agriculture recorded a high growth rate during 2013-14, but that is in the subsequent year its growth will be negative. Okay, 2013-14 agriculture record means high growth rate. Okay, but within a moment means within a subsequent year its growth become negative. While the service sector continued to witness a high level of growth, higher than overall GDP growth in 2014-15, and this sector witnessed the high growth rate of 9.8%. See here. But what about in the service sector? Service sector has continued a witness high level of growth, as you know that, yes, and this should be contribution what more to the GDP. So that GDP has been increased, that is in 2014-15 service sector has been witnessed 9.8% growth rate, and the industrial sector witnessed a steep decline during 2012-13 and in the subsequent year, and it began to show a continuous positive growth. Okay, 2012-13 industrial sector should be steep decline, but in the later on the stage means in the subsequent year it will begin to show a continuous positive growth. The opening of the economy has led to a rapid increase in foreign direct investment and foreign exchange reserves. Along with this, the opening of the economy has led to a rapid increase in FDI and foreign exchange reserves. The foreign investment, which includes foreign direct investment, foreign institutional investment, that also increased, that is from $100 million in 1990 to 91, that is to $30 billion in 2017-18. See here, one of the major contribution here. Yes, FDI has been increased, foreign institutional investment FII also increased, that is from 100 million to 30 billion. So this is also one of the major contribution we can see in the post 1991. There has been an increase in the foreign exchange reserves from about $6 billion in 1990-91, and it is about $413 billion in 2018-19. So this is also another one contribution, that is foreign exchange reserves. So foreign exchange reserves also increased, that is from 6 billion to 413 billion. So that we can say that India is one of the largest foreign exchange reserve holders in the world. In this way, India is seen as a successful exporter of auto parts, engineering goods, IT software and textiles in the reform period. And also rising prices means inflation. So this also been kept under control, that is during the 1991 reform period. Okay students, so in this way we can say that some of the changes have been takes place in Indian economy, that is post 1991 reform policy. Next, we'll continue further more concepts regarding the criticism of reforms in few areas, that is in the next episode. In this episode also some exercise questions there. Question number 1, expand WTO. Question number 2, expand GATT. Question number 3, write a short note on WTO. Question number 4, what are the changes takes place after post 1991 reforms? Please solve these questions and submit it on time. Thank you.